Howdy folks, it's AJ the Hunting Gear Guy. Now I've been doing a lot of 22 stuff recently. This is a 1022, mainly maple seed, which for the Americans watching is apple seed here in Canada. And I wanted to outfit one of my rifles for with an adjustable stock, something that would work for kids, something with adjustable length of pull. Now I think the better way to go about this would have been to get the Magpul stock for the 22 because it's got those shims in the back. It's a really nice stock, really well made. Kind of expensive though, especially up here in Canada. They're too expensive, I would think, for what I want to do with it. So instead, I went to Bass Pro and I picked up this. now these Tapco Intrafuse 1022 kits. I got this one for $50. Oh, so good. So I don't like. I was looking around at some reviews. These guys are saying this is military grade plastic on here, and don't make me laugh. But if it achieves the goal of adjustability and makes it so that the stock can go in and out and give me a really good length to pull on here, fantastic. If it can give me a better cheek weld too, because I don't know if you noticed here, but these factory 1022 stocks, unless you get one of the nicer options, they kind of go down, and without a cheek rest on here, you're looking down the iron sights. You really do need a cheek rest to be able to use the scope on them. So maybe I don't need that if I've got an adjustable stock, or because this stock here comes with two different buffer tubes. It's got one that's angled right there, and it's got another one that's straight right there. So one of them's going to cant at the back, one of them's going to be straight. I think the straight one's going to work better for a scope, but I'll crack this thing open and find out. Right, now here's the fore end. Now if you notice, there's this little latch on the bottom here, and that's because you can pull it forward and there's some pick rail under there if you want to attach a light or a bipod or something like that. I don't. I just want to, well, I don't know. I'm gonna have to put a sling swivel on the front somewhere up here. So we'll see how we got to do that. We have a couple of screws at the back here to attach to that buffer tube, and some other stuff here to attach to our rifle. We've got our top clampy bit on top of there, so the upper fore end. There's our, I imagine this is 6th position. They almost all are. There's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's going to be your standard stock. Oh, that's interesting. If you push it in a little bit too far, you run into this rubber bit. What is this? So this rubber bit lets you put stuff into the buffer tube. So you put some Skittles, or actually that's Slim Jim storage right there. Nice and long, and yeah, that's Slim Jim storage. And then we've got a sling sling swivel. Finally, we've got this pistol grip. It doesn't really look AR compatible. Maybe I'll try an AR grip on here. What's the worst that can happen? On the bottom here, this is just a little latch here that lets you open it up, and I think this is Skittles storage. The other one's for Slim Jims. This is for Skittles. I'm pretty sure that's the official reason that you have these. And then we've got our hardware as well as. There's our angled buffer tube. So you can see that one's going to go down. That one will let you use your iron sights. I don't want to use those. I want to use a scope on this 22. So give me a minute. Let me figure out how to put this thing on. All right, here's that receiver. Here's their grip. And it goes right on there. Where's my other grip? I just had it. There it is. There's a standard AR grip, and it won't go. And it's not even, the screw hole's not even in the right spot. So no dice, can't use an AR grip on this thing. All right, first things first, we're going to pull the old stock off this 1022. I've got no mag. I've got nothing in the chamber. So let's start taking it apart. First thing I'm going to do is to get rid of that barrel band there. So just get my Allen key in there. Pull it off, swap out my Allen keys, and go for the center position there. And move my safety to the middle, something like that. There we go. And out she comes. Take this thing and chuck it off to the side. The next they want us to put the pistol grip on, I am going to stick this monster with a screw. It's a 3/8 head in, And then we're going to stick that onto the stock. So I'd imagine that's going to go up like that. And then we're going to slowly screw that guy in there. Next up, we can put the tube on the body here. So I assume we just jam that thing in there. And looks like you guys got the nuts on your side. So I'm going to put those in there ever so gently. And then I'm going to bash them in. Next up, I'm going to take these smaller screws and just stick them through the side and engage with those nuts. And now we have that part all good. Next up, we're going to take our barrel to action. We're going to put our safety in the middle, and we're going to try to get that in there. Ooh, I wonder if that release is going to work like that. I can see there that that release doesn't quite fit, so I might have to relieve that plastic a bit to be able to use this extended magazine release. Now, one thing that I just read here is that I'm actually going to have to use the action screw from my old stock in this new one. Then I'm going to go ahead and pop that action screw in there. All right, for this next part, we're going to take the upper handguard and screw it in there, which means I'm going to have to take off my scope, so give me a minute. All right, scope's off. I'm going to use a power drill. They said, hey, watch out, you might strip it out. So what I'm going to do with mine is I'm going to put it to like a real weak clutch setting so it doesn't do too much. I'll probably have to ratchet it up to make it do anything, so let's find out here. Now you'll know which way this goes on because it only really fits on one way. Try putting it on the other way, and it doesn't quite fit because of the barrel. So it's actually tapered to the barrel there, which is nice. Let's go ahead and put that top one in there. Now one option they give you is just a little sling attach point. I'm going to pop mine on the left-hand side of the rifle. There's kind of like a nut in there, so I'm going to go ahead and pop that in there. I wonder if they've got this one washer here. I don't think it really makes sense to pop in that side though. Let's try the other side. Yeah, that side makes sense. And then we've got that Allen head to go all the way through. Let's get a screwdriver for that thing. So I was left with these little lock washers here. I imagine they're going to go in on these guys at the back here, but I'll deal with that later. Now, one other thing I wanted to find out was whether this stock was like a standard AR style stock. I think it is, because it looks like it is. So to pull this out, I'm just pulling up on this lever here, pulling it right out. Let's see. Will this one go on? Maybe. Oh, ooh, that feels nice and tight. So, yes, they will go on. This one might be a bit too tight for this stock. Let me try my other. Yeah, that one also works. I'm just going to put the factory bound back on because it offered the best fit on there. Now with this stock out at an appropriate level, boom, I can see through that thing just beautifully. Oh, that's beautiful. I'll have to do something to get in there, so I'm probably going to get at this thing with a Dremel, but, and that stock, oh, it's so tight, but you can just see a tiny little air gap through there. Perfect. I wouldn't wouldn't want to go any lower than that. That's fantastic because I was thinking about how to get this thing lower, but I would have had to chew out like this sight rail at the back here just to get it low enough to use with well, just a little bit less of a cheek piece. But now just this straight works perfect. That's fantastic. That's exactly what I need. So that other stock, if you want to use irons, go ahead. But I think that's going to be the ticket for me. All right, as you can see there, I just dremeled it out a little bit so that can go in. Moment of truth. And that is actually pretty good. So I still got that flat shelf that I can do on the bottom. Still nice and flat. Still drops free on the magazines. And they still pop in there just great. So I think that's going to work. I think that's going to work. If I were to spend a little bit more time, I might take this guy off and just go with that factory one, just because this isn't super great to hang on to anymore, where it used to be a lot more convenient. It isn't anymore. But the rest of this has been pretty good. It's pretty easy stock to install. Gets your eye where it needs to be for a scope. Or you could go with iron sights, I guess, if you really wanted to. Who wants to, though? Not these days. We're in 2019, 2020 soon. It's time to use some scopes and some red dots and that kind of things with our Ruger 1022s. So again, that was the Tapco Intrafuse. I'm probably going to put this video out before I get out to shoot it, just to kind of get it out there. But it looks pretty standard. Looks, you know, who would I recommend this kind of thing for? If you want to shoot an AR on the cheap, get an AR-15. AR-15s are cheap these days. The ammo's cheap. There's no sense getting something that kind of looks like an AR-15 but isn't, when you can just get an AR-15 or something similar. So that's the way I would go. But if you want an adjustable stock rifle so that you can very quickly have a kid shoot a 22, this might be a better way to go about it, because that's going to give you that length of pull, because little kids have short arms, so they'll be able to pop down on it. And if you want to hand it to adult, you can slam it out and you can still use it just fine. So very interesting from that perspective. And I think if you want something with just a little bit more adjustability in it, I think this is the way to fly. So thanks for watching.